We are live now.
Assalamu alaikum viewers. Today we will have a talk with a very talented, competent, and professor doctor of English literature. He is famous not only in Multan but all over the world. And nowadays he is working as principal of Government Emerson College of Multan. First of all, Assalamu alaikum, sir. And I'm really very happy to see you. And how are you, sir?
I'm very good. Thank you, Mahnur. It's a great opportunity for me that I should share my views with you and the viewers. By the way, certain people may be my viewers as well only, and I want to introduce Mahnur to them. That Mahnur has been a very good student of mine in Government Emerson College, and after completing her BS, she has joined Women University of Multan in order to complete her degree of MPhil. Right now, she's working on research in MPhil. Today, she requested me to show my ideas and views on some of the questions which she has got, and I welcome all the questions. Ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for such a comprehensive introduction, sir. Sir, as we all know that the whole world is suffering from a difficult time, and because of this pandemic, because of coronavirus, and everyone is locked down. I want you to share your views on on this difficult and unusual situation. That how can we stay positive? How can we stay healthy, good at our homes? And I will ask a few questions from you, sir, and I will be thankful if you will share your views on them. So
Okay,
my
well,
first question, yes, sir.
the very important topic has been raised by you. It's really very interesting and very much needful that it should be talked about these days. All of us are here in a such situation
Yes,
where
sir.
everything of the last hundreds of years has topsy-turvied. I mean, hundreds of years we have been preaching that students and the young people should go on the playgrounds, should visit the libraries, and should go to meet their friends or have parties, etc. But all of a sudden, all is reversed. The situation is really very bleak. But
Yes,
it's
yes.
really very important to talk and discuss and provide some type of guidance to the people how they can feel good and satisfied in such a situation. So I'll be answering all your questions. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. And it is also affecting their mental health. And when we are mental health is affected, our physical health also gets affected. That's why I chose this topic, sir. And I chose you because you're not only my teacher, but an inspirational leader for me as well. Sir, my first question is for our students that what would you say that how can they feel happy and good in such an unusual situation?
Well, I think that our students are the worst victim of this whole situation because they are the people who are not suffering though physically, but they are suffering mentally, psychologically. They were
Yes,
habitual of going into the classes and seeing their teachers, seeing their class fellows, having chats with them, and sometime on the canteens as well. And after that, discussing their lectures, of having seminars, etc. All this activity has gone down, and during the lockdown, they are required not to come into their colleges, not to do whatever they used to do in the past time. So that's very difficult for them.
yes,
But
sir.
we are the human beings, and human beings have got a very specific quality in them that they can adapt to their environment, whatever is provided to them. Right now, if the students have to stay at home, they must adapt to their environment at home. For example, I have found that we have YouTube University with us. If our students go to the YouTube channels and try to discover the videos on their syllabi, I mean, the kind of syllabus they are studying in their colleges and universities, if to go to their topics, read about or watch about the authors, writers, critics, theorists, and then watch their dramas, novel, most of the text that we have has been dramatized, has been filmed also. So in that way, it will provide them a great opportunity to have a second view as they learn from the teacher. They can be learning from the YouTube University as well. This is one way of keeping up to date, also learning, also and feeling good as well. And secondly, I have found another thing very good that if we put certain things to practice, for example, if we read one poem and we try to write the similar type of poem, that will make us a lot happy. And if we have watched one character and we try to play the same character with our friends, with our colleagues, with our siblings, or with our parents, that will even be the source of happiness. So in that way, by adopting practicality in their life and by becoming creative, students can get a lot. I know reading of the books is very difficult, as it has been with you sometime also. But watching
Yes,
of
sir.
the videos, listening to their audios sometime, that's really very fascinating.
Yes,
We
yes,
really
sir.
enjoy that we can understand the things. So in that way, both the things will be continuing. I mean, the studying will also be there, and creative side will also be there. I think as far as the students are concerned, they must perform this type of activity that will make them happy and save them from the boredom at home.
So
Yes.
they can use YouTube University as well in this time of difficulty. Sir, my next question is that what should the men do in general to remain happy?
This is a big trouble for the men because they have to stay at home. I
Yes.
think most of the men, I'm myself, a grown-up man. It used to be a very good hobby to go outside, smoke cigarettes, and have cups of teas and coffees. Joining with the friends, this was very good, and it was actually a type of recreative activity. If they have been pressurized at home, or if they are suffering from some problems at home, so they would like to vent out their feeling outside. Now that opportunity is gone, of course.
Yes.
No, it is their compulsion that they have to stay at home. When they have to stay at home, then there is a very good source of feeling good. I mean, when they cook something in the kitchen, that will provide them extraordinary happy kind of feeling. And also, it will make them feel that it's not simply the wife at home or the daughter at home who can cook, they can also cook as well. So, cooking is something which will make them not only expert in the future coming events also, and they will feel really very happy. And secondly, I think that as I have found that if we play with our children, for example, I play with my younger son, we tease each other, we tell the things we do with each other, and we share certain pictures as well. And sometimes we practically and physically play certain games as well. In that way, it feels really very good, and the children feel in heaven when they play with their parents. So in that way, I think men should cooperate more with their wives with regard to the home chores. They will feel really very good. Sometimes you feel how good it will be that instead of their wife making a cup of tea for them, if they make two cups of tea and bring for their wife, you can imagine how much the wife will be happier. And happier the wife, happier the family will be.
Exactly, sir. I'm agree with you. Sir, my next question is for our women that what should they do? What will you say to them that what role they can perform at their homes that you know that outdoor activities are not possible? That what will you say to them? What should they do
Yeah,
at
this
this
is
time?
very important. This is really very important, and I have been giving advice to number of girls and women when lockdown was not there. And I think that advice has become even more important when the lockdown has come. First, we need to understand the situation of women. Our women of 21st century, especially, they are much, much different from the women of 20th century, or even if we go back to 19th century, they are like that. Two things have happened in their lives. Number one, media has provided them the opportunity to see what is happening in America with women, what American women are doing, for example, the developed world, for example, what they are doing, and what is happening in their neighboring countries. They all know that. And secondly, a large number of women have knowledge degrees, for example. They have understood the knowledge and information as well. Today in most of the institutions you can see girls are more as compared to the boys, so they are educated now. Now, if a person is educated and well aware of the rights that person has, life becomes a bit difficult for that person because he needs to have his rights, and the society will be there standing up and not giving the right at all, or at least trying to hesitate not to give the rights to the women. Same thing is happening with our women. I think our women of today, they are well equipped with education, they are equipped with skills, and they are capable of earning money as well. So money is not an issue these days. Issue is the mental happiness, spiritual happiness. That is the biggest issue with our women of today. But alongside these good positive things of women, something negative has also happened. Now, when a woman is capable of earning, she's got knowledge as well, and she's useful to her family also. Now she wants respect from the family too. She needs the respect from the family, and there's no wrong in that. It is right, her claim, she
Yes,
wants to have that.
yes, sir.
But sometimes male members of the home are not willing and are not ready to give her the similar type of respect. For example, if a male could demand that when he needs to sleep, air conditioning should be on, and
Hmm.
if a female demands the same thing, care is not taken. And if, for example, female said that she feels cold and AC should not be put on, the male would not care for that. They would say, "No, I need the AC, and what the hell you are talking about?" Same is the
Hmm.
case with cooking something. I have found that women never cook for themselves. They always cook for their sons, for their daughters, for their husbands. And when a woman is that much, practical, and she is a professional person as well, that woman sometimes needs that, sometimes feels that there should come a day for which, for which she should be preferred. Her likes and dislikes should be preferred. I have seen, even I saw my mother, that whole of her life she never cooked for herself. She always cooked for the other people. But
Exactly.
every human being, women are human beings. They too have the kind of desire or thinking that they may be having like
Mhm.
that. Same is the case with the women. And another issue, which is really sometimes a private issue, but as a parent, I can talk about, because I too have been facing these things. Sometimes it happens that a girl or a boy, when they get young, most of the time the husband would want that they young people should be married according to his choice, and the woman would be saying, okay, I follow you, but sometimes the woman would say, no, I don't want this. At that time again they have the big issue. Fights and quarrels are there, that the marriages of the children will be with my wish, man would say, and the woman would say, I too have the wish, and in that the clashes are there. So the life of the woman in this type of situation becomes even more hellish, even more problematic, and they are really very great in trouble. They do not feel happy, etc. They have the problem like that. Now, what they should do actually, I think you cannot change the world.
Yes.
You can change yourself. That's my
Yes.
formula. You
Yes,
cannot
sir.
change the world. You can change yourself.
I,
A woman at home must try to do those things which make her happy. For example, okay, she must cook for the family, but she should cook for herself as well. What type
yes.
of tea she likes and what time she wants to have that cup of tea, she should do that. She shouldn't wait for the other people that they should come and then she should do that. No, she should fulfill her own duties and her own desire and her own wishes as well. And secondly, they have the friends, for example, they have their colleagues, for example, they have their sons and daughters as friends also. They must play with them. Game of cards, for example, ludos, for example, anything they should play with them. And that will make them feel that they are also individuals and human beings. And after that, the relationship of the children should be determined by the children. Parents should only guide them, provide some kind of advice, or I should say they should supervise only, because it is the next generation which has to live. It is not the old generation, they have passed. They should leave on their children. Though they must guide them, they must come forward to teach them a lot, so that they should not make a mistake. But enforcing their will upon those younger people will be of no use at all. And similarly, a woman, as for example, she lives at home, she's got the things to do at home, she must make one room at least for herself, where the things of her own choice, the color of her own choice, the bed of her own choice, if she can manage, should be there. So that, as Virginia Woolf, for example, said, that she should have her own room where she can relax for some time. If the room is of my choice, when I come in the room, how much relaxed and good I will feel. Same should be the case with the women. So what I want to say, that women, though I don't say that the mothers should not love their sons, should not cook for them, they should not. I don't say that. I say that whatever they are doing, they must continue. But alongside that, they must construct their own world as well, in which they can feel happy. They should have their friends. They should have their company. They should have their talks and discussions, and they can do so because it's very easy these days because of this online issues. They can do so. And one fascinating thing which I want to suggest to all the women here, for example, women parties, online parties should be arranged. For example, if a woman has made pecores or she has made a cup of tea, at the fixed time, all her friends, for example, should come online. There is Google Zoom also, the StreamYard is also there. Even on WhatsApp, you can do the video calls. They should take the tea while talking to their friends on the video call also. And when they will talk on the video call, they will be able to discuss their lipsticks and their makeups and their hair as well. So that will be a very fascinating activity. The tea, a new type of tea may be made by them, and that way they will exchange the ideas as well. So women's world will be alive with them. And that's, I think, the greatest source for happiness. Instead of thinking and planning to change the others, they should change themselves. They should
Yes,
become
sir.
an individual themselves.
So your views are like Virginia Woolf, that women must have a room of their own, and
Yeah,
you give them a very good suggestion that you propose an idea of online parties as well. Sir, you are a teacher, and your activity has also means everything has changed, and your activities are also changed. No doubt, you are taking online lectures, and you are still busy, but most of the teachers are tensed and bored at home. No doubt. It's a fact as well. And what would you say to them? What should they do?
Yes, really, there are some teachers who love their students and love their lectures, and so when they are unable to do so, they feel bored and upset also. But I think we should readily divide our teachers between two groups immediately. One is the pre-internet age, and other are the people who are in the 20th century or 21st century going through the internet age. The people who are pre-internet, they didn't like to change themselves, and that's why this type of teaching, which is nowadays the norm, online teaching, for example, Google, Zoom, Room, and other, these are the kind of jokey things for them. They don't like it. But on the other hand, they are the modern teachers as well, and these people are really the asset now, because in such a situation they are teaching their students. Not only in this situation, for example, if I have given one lecture in the classroom and I have recorded 5 to 10 minute speech for YouTube as well, my students can strengthen their lectures by visiting it. So in normal situation also, online teaching is good and necessary, and in abnormal, as we call it, this situation, that is also necessary. So what the other type of teacher should do, I think there is one formula for all the teachers, that if you want to train your students, and if you want to train yourself, and if you want to feel happy in all type of situation, maybe a physical classroom or non-physical, you have to be creative. I mean, this is not the way that we should give a piece of paper to the student by saying, okay, learn it, these are the notes, these are the summaries, learn it and go to the examination. That's not creativity. Creativity is that read yourself and make your students read. When you read it, you feel very much enjoying. And after that, when your student reads, you feel happy. When your student gives you the feedback, whatever the feedback is, of course, the students are not the experts, but they give some type of feedback. At that time, you feel really very good. It's just like the poets, for example. Poets write a poem, and then when somebody listens to the poem, they say, wow, wow, and poet is really very happy. So for a teacher, there are many activities they can do. But this activity of reading and being creative and making their students creative as well, because a teacher's job is to find out the hidden talent of the student and bring it out and polish it as well. Only then the student can grow. Otherwise, if you don't go in search of such a talent, the teaching, it's just like teaching a monkey. It's just like teaching some bird, that they will utter out the words, but creativity will not be there. So to be creative is the most necessary noun for a teacher, that teacher should be creative. Well, now let me say, okay, if you are not well versed with YouTube, leave it. If you are not well versed with any kind of media, leave it. But you can have a brush, you can have a canvas, there you can paint. Paint a lesson for your teachers, make a picture of the lesson for your teachers. Even if you can't do that, just record your voice, sing a poem and send to your students, and they will be happy with that. And when somebody will be listening to your poem when you have sung it, how happier you will feel when you will find that somebody is listening to that. And similarly, there are many other media where you can write and reach your students as well. By telephone, I think these days everybody is using a cell phone. So if you and the cell phone have the capacity to draw, to make a picture, to make a cartoon, or to make other things like that. Do not record your videos, just make these things, send to your students and see the positive response they give back to you. So there are many ways to be creative. So my formula is that every day, for example, I'm learning, and every day I'm doing new things. And this is what keeps me doing everything. So I'm a normal human being. I fall ill also. I feel sad also. Everything is with me. But these things keep me alive, and these things keep me going. So I would request all my worthy teachers and colleagues that everybody should be creative in whatever way they can. And this will be the only way that they can feel happy as well. Of course, they may be feeling very sad and bored as well when they have to stay at home with their long time wives.
Yes, sir. Sir, my last question is general, that how can we make our lives better?
Yeah, this is a little bit difficult question to answer because it varies from person to person. Some
Hmm.
people are there who will be happy just on a cup of tea. And some people will not be happy even if you arrange a big gathering for them, a big party for them, they will not be happy. That depends from person to person how to make the feel life happy. And moreover, one should know the definition of happiness. I mean, are you happy when a lot of money is with you? It will go wrong because sometimes money will stay and sometimes will not stay. And if you are happy with the material things, for example, a time can come when you cannot use these material things. And so where will the happiness come from? There are two ways to feel happy and to feel good. One way is that if you are making someone happy, say that person is your friend, that person is your neighbor, that person is your relative, or anyone, if you do little acts of kindness for that person without thinking that tomorrow that person will reverse toward the act of kindness, don't think that. वो नेकी कर दरिया में डाल वाली जो बात होती है ना, in that way, if you do such things, very little, I don't say spend thousands of money, no, just do the littlest possible acts of kindness with the people around you. They will definitely at least smile for you. And this is what makes you really happy. This is one way of feeling and doing good. And secondly, I just listened to a talk of feeling, envious or jealous with the other people. What is the way to tackle with that? Normally we are happy, but this is the thing which makes us unhappy. Instead of saying that I also want to be like Manur, for example, I also want to be an artist like Manur, for example, I would say, why Manur is an artist? That is something that really makes us unhappy. If we see someone who is doing good things and feeling good also, we should work on ourselves. We should groom our own talent by different ways, by different means. आजकल तो नीड ही नहीं है that we should have a teacher and we have a long time things or training. We have all training videos available on YouTube, and Google is the best teacher for that purpose. So if we want to learn something, we can learn it. Why we should waste our time for the other people, or to make them feel that they are good? We should try to make ourselves good. If anyone is doing these two things in life, everything will be achievable. I have a belief that if you work on yourself, look at the people, get the guidance from them, see how they have progressed. For example, what I used to do, I'm telling you my secret, that I was a student of master's class since that time. I have been reading the biographies of the Nobel Prize winners. I mean, I wanted to find how they win the prize, who are they people. And from there, I could find none of them was a rich person and a powerful person. They were all common people. They got the Nobel Prize. But how they got that? Because they worked. They did themselves. Same is the case with every person, that if we want to be happy, we need to work on ourselves. Look at the people, for example, how Imran Khan has become a PM. What was the thing done by him? You can become the PM of Pakistan also in the same way, but then you have to work on yourself. So if you strengthen your powers, your faculties, and use them in order to gain upper ladder of life or happiness of life, you will be really happy. But if you want to purchase happiness, surely for something you will be happy, sometime you will be happy, but this is not long lasting. Happiness comes from within. And the last thing, Muslims are very good in this respect. They have a very firm belief in God. And I think if I pray to God, for example, it will make me happy at least for the next 24 hours, because I will think I have handed over my problems to Him. Now He has to deal with that. And the prayer, the way we are taught to say the prayer, the Muslims, for example, we have a specific way of praying to God, and that makes our belief strong, that makes our mind strong, that makes our thinking strong. So I think everyone in the world, but Muslims especially, they should have a very, very strong bonding with God. They should communicate with God. He listens wherever. It's not necessary that he will listen in Arabic only or he will listen in other language. He can listen. When you say that God lives very close to you, even closer to your this, what you call it, Sharak Vagara. So it means that He is with you all the time. So why not to include Him in your life? And when you will include Him in your life, happiness will be all around, confidence will be all around. So these are some of the ways how people. I'm not the expert of that thing, but I can just suggest as I do. For
So you're
example, I want to share one my personal experience that
yes,
in the last year, whenever I got up early in the morning, I felt a type of sadness. And I asked one of my senior colleagues that this is the matter. In the morning I'm sad, and after that I'm okay. So he told me that you should wake up with some surah of Holy Quran. Your day should begin with the surah of Holy Quran,
Surah of
and
Holy.
whatever it may be. Believe me that I started the same thing, and now my day begins with the recitation of one surah of Holy Quran, and I never found myself sad, at least not for that time. So I found more confidence in that. So communicating with God and doing those things with God has ordered us, making the world better, making the humanity better, that makes you happy. If you do it, you will be happy. Otherwise, I have seen the richest possible people who travel in limousines and live in bungalows of 2244 canals. They take pills at night in order to sleep it out. and all the time they are having the worries and sadnesses. So real happiness lies in these two, three things. I think in that
So
regard.
we should also take the advantage of being Muslim.
Yes, of course, one
Yes,
should be.
sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your views, for your precious time, and for your suggestions, for your advices. Thank you so much, sir. I
So
hope it
now,
will be very beneficial for me, for teachers, for all the people and everyone, and for our viewers. Thank you so much, sir.
thank you very much, Mahanur. It has been a great opportunity for me to express my views, and thank you also that you invited me for this kind of talk. And hopefully, next time we shall also be joining together on some or other issue. So, for the time being, I will beg my leave from you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, sir. Thank you, sir.